We are the Juice Crew Villains.
Oh, it popped the song. Oh,
it wasn't like a pop tongue, but I had to use the tongue to pop it.
I don't cook, I don't clean, but I got this ring.
You got me fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's real.
I'm still hungover. I'm still hungover. I'm still hungover. I'm still hungover. Sometimes I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Make my sandwich with the wrong side of the bread. Thought I made it by a landslide, but instead I'm still hungover. Sometimes I make the wrong phone call after dark. Sometimes I make the wrong turn, then I have to pause. I know exactly how this ends, but I have to start. I still come over. I'm just living my life. I'm just living my life. I'm just living my life. I'm just living my life, and I'm not living it right, but I don't give a damn.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gaplord, friend extraordinaire, and today we have a very important topic for you guys. Do Black people love the Democratic Party more than they love God?
Hold up.
Wait. Do Black people love the Democratic Party more than they love God? And we're going to get Dr. Tuepenz opinion about this. What do you think?
Oh, boy, they gonna hate for this one. They gonna hate it, but yes. Some. Not all, in the words of the great Jesse Lee Peterson, but definitely there are some black people, you know, who have more love and loyalty to the Democratic Party than they do the Lord. They are more into what the Democratic Party is suggesting than what the Lord is commanding.
So do you have any examples of things that you say that they...
I got some notes.
All right, so tell us some things that you give us some examples to kind of be more,
Whatever the Democratic Party says, Black people believe. They believe with faith, 100% faith. And if that ain't following the Democratic Party more than you follow God, I don't know what is. If the Democratic Party believed in drive-by shootings in the middle of the day at someone's mother's house amongst some children, Black people would support that. I'm just saying, if the Democratic Party was into robbing banks and stabbing old ladies in the thigh for no reason, Black people would support that.
So what are some things that make you feel like that?
Man, I don't try to get too with the words, but the most recent example I saw, was when I'm gonna call him 46.
Oh yeah, they don't call my name.
46. Yeah. President Joe Biden has said he supports children, under the age of 8 transitioning.
Each other. The idea that an 8-year-old child or a 10-year-old child decides, I decided I want to be transgender. That's what I think I'd like to be. It'll make my life a lot easier. There should be zero discrimination. And what's happening is too many transgender women of color are being murdered. They're being...
And, as a parent, I'm just like, how can any parent support that type of decision with a child who hasn't even fully developed their brain yet?
And why would a kid at that age even be concerned
what's
with
the purpose of it?
Dealing with sex.
But that's what they support. You understand what I'm saying? And that's something I'm just like, I don't understand. Then you go into, I think the biggest thing that bothered me with this whole Black people in the Democratic Party is just the years of manipulation. There's just too many years of them using the Black word in this race card to get Black support, and get everybody up and riled up. People will stand and anybody worry about COVID, they more worried about voting. Voting was a bigger pandemic than the COVID-19 or the C word, you know what I mean? C word, whatever it was. And when you look at that, you can't get that many people together for anything. Unless it's a barbecue or a function. We can't get that many people together for much. So, it's just like, it's obvious that the Black people have a little bit more support and love for the Democratic Party than they do God, because the Democratic Party, doesn't really follow God-like principles. Because if your party is supporting, actions and behaviors that are not really, commanded by God, then and you support it.
Are you in reference to things like abortion?
All that.
Yeah.
All that. It's obvious. The Democrats go low as they can go. They just take anybody. They don't care. That's why they were trying to get them. They said, "Oh, we want the people who weren't documented citizens in America to vote." Like what? Now he pay no taxes, and then how you get to vote?
Bro, yeah.
Like,
if that doesn't sound insane to be, it's no country in this world where you can just go. There's immigration process,
mm-hmm.
but people aren't trying to go to these other places.
No, everybody coming to America.
Yeah, so
I wonder why.
I
wonder why it's so bad here.
Yeah, I mean, that's not my experience. Of course. But to each his own. But I'm not gonna pretend. So you're saying that yes. Is that a definite yes?
It's a most definitely yes. And of course it's not all. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that support the Democratic Party but don't like all the things that the Democratic Party represents. So, my thing with that though is just stay out of it. It's obvious it isn't for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really for you. And they showing you that by making you like, I just can't believe that they passed the Asian. And it's nothing against Asian people. You know what I'm saying? If people are attacking Asian people, that's wrong. That's very wrong. But there's an Asian hate crime bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, specifically for Asian people. Now, I know it's hate crime laws and things of that nature, but that's a broad bill that covers a lot of different
Man,
groups.
so subject. That shouldn't even be a thing. It should be a crime.
But this is what I'm saying. The Asians have one.
Will have one, yeah.
They have one. And I saw way more black this, black that, black Camilla, black Joe, you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah.
Than any Asian. I don't even know what they were saying.
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want some.
It was black and brown. My black and brown. My black and brown sisters and brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a game that they've been playing on not only our generation, but generations before us.
Yeah.
They've been doing this. It don't make me go back through my black history on y'all. I need to pick up my book, Black and. After the Civil Rights Movement, you have the cocaine 70s, crack rock 80s, and Crips versus Bloods versus Bloods in the 90s. Then the emergence of the fake gangster rappers from the 90s exploded, and is still continuing to grow and has become a key characteristic of what is referred to as black culture. Business. I talk about this.
I think it goes even further than this.
Because it's just people don't want to accept it. People are scared to. People don't want to admit that what we've been doing for years has been counterproductive to the growth of the people.
When you speaking like this, people are automatically going to assume that you belong to the Republican Party.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, what? It's crazy that even speaking like people, and not even mentioning political affiliation, but while mentioning political affiliation, it's like, just because I speak a certain way or have a certain views doesn't mean I belong to the Republican Party.
Dude, come on, man. That's ignorant.
Yeah, that is so ignorant.
What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not a Republican. I'm not even into politics like that. Y'all make me talk about it because I see y'all being so crazy about it. And then what made me talk about it is when I try to have a conversation with you about it, we can't even do it. So I got to cut on my platform and do it myself. Because y'all don't even want to talk about it.
Get all emotional.
Get all mad. Angry.
Names.
That's what happens because the truth, we were talking about earlier, it's buried deep inside of you in the darkness of all the lies. And the light shocks you.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to get you, nigga.
It's the truth and the light. So, what I have to say is it is some, not all, but many. Because it's like by actions, if I'm looking by black people's actions, it's like they absolutely seem to have more faith in the Democratic Party than God. To go along with some of the things that party represents is kind of insane. And I just,
It just
it
is.
doesn't make sense. Yeah, it is. It's like, it is what it is. It's like, I won't go into detail on any of them, but we all know, I mentioned it briefly throughout this show, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's not, if we just had to balance out the pros and cons, it's like, it just doesn't lean that way.
Y'all can say what y'all want, but you'll be lying.
Yeah, and it doesn't even work best. It doesn't even work best. It's like the pandering that's been going on. It's like people talking about having hot sauce in their purse because, black.
No, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I
yes.
just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
People love some hot sauce, and that's all cool. But my favorite food is fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like watermelon. But
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and it's like the pandering that's going on in the media. Like he said, like, you ain't black if you don't vote for Joe.
Going to beat Donald Trump by just having all these plans. You got another thing coming. He's not going to be beaten just by somebody who has plans. It's really nice that we got all these plans, but not just a matter of a plan. John Kennedy did not say, I have a plan to get a man to the moon.
My first act in foreign policy, we're breaking up with Russia.
She's playing between the race card, like she's Indian one day, then she's black the next.
Mm-hmm.
And
don't forget the AKAs.
Yeah.
At the Philadelphia Museum of Art, another celebration. Members of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority organized this event. They honored fellow member, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, the first woman and the first person of color to serve as vice president.
The fraternity, the sorority thing, it's
Well,
like
she got y'all.
Yeah, it's like it's not in. It's being misused. It's being manipulated. It's like to lead people astray, and it's like it's not genuine. And it's like it's not. It seems so obvious to me personally, but maybe it's not obvious to everybody.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Like crystal clear. It's not obvious to everybody, and people can say what they want, But let's just be real, man. Y'all really don't even believe in God no more anyway. Everybody got their own definition of what God is. God, my friend, and I know how to talk to God and blah blah blah.
I'm spiritual.
Why your life so screwed up then? Why you so angry? You can't say you got a good relationship with God and you angry. You know what I'm saying? Like we all get upset, you know what I mean, and we all take it there. But walking around angry, having constant anger, going off on people, being emotional when you're asked simple, logical, non-insulting questions, and you respond with the insult. If somebody asks you a question that doesn't contain the insult and you respond with the insult, you can't tell me you got a good relationship with God.
You're angry.
And it's cool. I've been there. I used to be in basketball.
Hey.
I used to be tripping.
He wasn't even the worst. We was around some other people who was way worse.
Yeah, but I understand. That's why I'm telling you. And people like, oh, y'all trying to talk like y'all so much better than me. Like, no. It's because you know that deep inside of you, what you're saying is a lie.
Yeah, and if somebody speaks something, I know I don't like to say this, but I know many people like to say my truth. It's just really one truth. It's not, no, that's your perspective. If it's mine, if mine is in front of truth, that means perspective.
Exactly.
Because there's really only one truth. There's not a bunch of truth. There's just one. Right. In every given situation. So it's like if somebody says something that's true and something that you can't back up with facts, and it's like, but they back it up with facts. It's like, how can you be mad at that? It's like, it's just what it is. Like,
it's
good,
cool.
Whether it works in your favor or not, you have to take accountability for it. Sometimes it's going to be good, and sometimes it won't be good. but we have to take accountability for it because we always want to become the best versions of ourselves. So,
and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Think about something that happened to you 10 years ago. Does it matter today?
No.
Unless we talk about like something like a felony or something, that might, you know what I'm saying, get you from 10 years ago. But I'm like, we talking about something real. We're not talking about no legal. We're talking about something that just happened that didn't go in your favor, that you didn't like, a job you didn't get, a car you wanted, some money you wanted to get, somebody that said something about you. Think about that. And think about how it's impacting you now, 10 years, later. And if it is impacting you now, I'm going to pray for you, because you should let anything from 10 years ago impact you, you know what I'm saying, present day. You're living in the past, and you're never going to get to your future by living in the past, which is what the Democratic Party primarily specializes in. They primarily specialize in taking blacks back into the past, into slavery, and every bad thing that's happened to black people in America, and they leave you there. They don't leave me there, because I know better. But they leave y'all there, and y'all still up here, ooh, the stuff that happened in slavery just got me fearing for my children. And I'm just like, what?
What did Big Sean say? I can't be here my whole life 10 years later looking at the same ceiling fan.
Boy.
If I ain't special, why I feel it then?
They don't feel special.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
That's what it really is. It's like
they don't feel special.
10 years later, you still looking at this. This what you still saying is preventing you.
You know why? No fathers. No fathers in the household to make the children feel special, so they cling to anything like what? Black power, black power, because I have no father. You don't have nothing else to cling to. Black power is the closest thing to a dad that some of y'all people have.
Well,
ooh, that's woo.
Somebody can rebuttal that and say, okay, well, I had a father in my home, but I was still into that black.
And he wasn't really your father then. If you had a father in your home and you cling to black power more than you cling to your father should be your guy, that should be your support and your hero, where you get some good information from.
That father might believe
and the same difference with him. If he believing that he's going harder than black power than for God, then it's obvious, you know what I'm saying, they was led astray. Generation after generation. I mean, that's the game they play. And if it rhymes, it's true. You know what I'm saying? But it's the game that's been played amongst people in America. They get generation to generation to believe into the same thing, then they just spread it upon their children like y'all doing today. Y'all scaring kids. I fear for my son. Man, if I'm fearing for somebody to shoot my kids, it's one of y'all's kids.
Yeah, if I'm being completely honest, that's what another thing.
It's just the reality, man.
Yeah, the reality of the situation.
Black kids shoot black kids more than white cops do.
Yeah, I'm not worried about. I'm really not worried about the cops shooting my kids.
And say what you want. Say what you want. Say how you feel. I respect that. But when you look at the numbers, look at your life. Look about the people you know that have been shot. I don't know. I mean, count on my hand the number of people that I know who have been shot by the police. Every year, I know somebody gets shot by a black person. Every year, one of my homeboys get shot and killed by a black person.
I know, personally.
And then it got to the point, man, we know more people that have died than our parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's all because we follow this black stuff. The Democratic Party keep us stuck on that stuff. They keep y'all stuck on it, and y'all hate what's real, and that's why y'all still, I guess y'all still is slaves. Y'all love staying there, and the Democratic Party take y'all there. Do what you want to do. It's a do you. You have the freedom to do that. That's the beauty of the country, America we live in. You have the freedom to go out and do you. But don't complain about, I see everybody complain about, I ain't seen nothing for no black. What y'all expect? Didn't Barack show y'all? We not doing nothing for you black people. You have to do it for yourself. And it's okay to do it for yourself.
Yeah, that's fine.
Some of the greatest entrepreneurs and businessmen of this country, the Rockefeller, he wasn't no rich guy. Henry Ford, I always said he had an 8th grade education. These white guys. And they found a way to make it happen. That's what America is about. Finding a way to do you and make it happen by being a good person.
There's like a myth going on that, a lot of people in the black community, not me myself, but they feel like that white people were born with like a leverage, but that's not true. If they're born poor, they're born poor just like you.
Like everybody else.
Yeah. And they got the same struggles as the next poor person does.
I'm already knowing.
Yeah, and they're not a leg up on anybody. They're just
trust me.
Yeah. They gotta work hard just like you.
Yeah, and I stay in a suburb community, and I see like the issues that parents would have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with kids that got too much, cussing their parents out, they ain't listening, they getting in trouble in school, just like the black kids do. I done subbed in the school out there. I subbed in a lot of schools in the suburb community, and I said, dang, these kids is pretty, they a little rough around the edges. I said, man, I thought these kids were gonna be it blew my mind when I saw these kids act crazy. There's like all these other kids, and I realized, what's the problem? They on drugs too. They out there popping pills and having sex, man. The opioid crisis is something that's real big in the suburb community. You know what I'm saying? But they don't get a lot of airplay because, you know, I don't know, for whatever reason, you know. You hear about it a little bit, but not as much as, you know, the George Floyd situation. You know what I'm saying? That kids taking drugs and dying and stuff like that, committing suicide, I think that's a little bit more important. You know what I'm saying? Than that situation, if you ask me. You know what I mean? Like that's a big issue.
It's being misused. It was used for like political prostitution. So it was like use this to gain favor from a group of people. So that's what most of it is. The media is usually misleading people.
And that's all the media do.
But
why they can't use that real though? You know? Use that, Democrats. Save the children. Let that be your next campaign.
Oh yeah.
Save the children. You can really win with that.
Nah, I don't know. People don't really care about children like that.
Man.
You know, people be fighting for abortions.
The media will help them.
Yeah, so. But you know, you guys let us know what you think.
Of course. Like, subscribe, comment, share, of course.
Hit the notification button, all those amazing things. We thank you for tuning in. So in summary, you know.
And don't be mad. I know y'all gonna be mad at this. I know a lot of y'all Democrats, and you know, I'm not saying you stupid, but you know, somebody you know it's a Democrat is stupid. And if it's you, just change it. Just don't be stupid no more.
You feel me?
See you later. You meet so many people out there, and I was meeting some people. I didn't know what to do with the relationships at some point. Just meeting motherfuckers and just networking and getting out there and talking to people. It you know, it definitely helped me out. But people just go to school and motherfuckers just go straight through.
Yeah.
They kick it, party, and don't get that from it. I'm like, nigga, nah. If it was my college, I'd make you be a part of some shit or you kicked out. Like the requirement is you have to join a student organization.
Yeah, something.
Like you're not.
I wouldn't have no fraternities unless they like done my way.
I have them. I mean, yeah, because every school got their own policies and shit when it comes to that. But come on, let's go, man.
All right, so 5, 4, 3.
These niggas stunt for the gram, mugging while they taking selfies, pointing they gun at the cam. Oh, them little Ronald McDonald's, got the max, but they some clowns. On 3, my nigga get gangster, while I push this red button down.